Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. So for today, we are going to be doing the Summer Slay look featuring the new Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Let's get into it. So as usual, of course, priming my eyelids with the Kat Von D High Voltage Eye Primer. Have to do this. Oily lids, it's a must. Moving right along here, we're going to start off with this first color here called Low Blow. It's like this warm tone brown close to my skin tone shade. Since I'm going to be doing something a little bit smoked out, I like to start up with lighter colors in my crease and then building them up. The next color here, we're going to go in with Cayenne. Cayenne is deeper than Low Blow, and we're just going to take a fluffy brush here. I don't remember what kind of brush this is, but it is a blending brush, and I'm popping this right in my crease, and I'm making sure I'm going all the way from the inner corner all the way to the outside of my eye because I want this look to be just a tad bit blown out. Then the next color we're going in with is In Fuego. This is like that deep earthy burgundy tone. It's so pretty, and again, just building on that color, starting off with lighter colors and then building up to a darker is going to give you a nice gradient, and it's going to make the blending process way easier for you. Next up, switching over to the shade Chaser. Because I'm doing something that's a little bit more dramatic, I always like to highlight my brow bone. I like this shade just simply because it does have a touch of shimmer in it, but it's not too much, and it's the perfect brow bone highlight up under my eye. I don't like it to be too popping, but just, you know, a little extra dimension, and of course it's going to help blend all the other colors in the crease together. And then last but not least, I love this shade. This is the shade called Ashes. Ashes is this deep earth tone purple plum color here. So I'm going to start off with a tapered brush, and notice where I'm placing it just in my crease, and I'm not really doing a huge sweeping motion until I get into the crease on the outside. I'm just really packing that in, taking it into the crease, and then I'm also going to pop this in the inner tear duct. We're going to do more of like a halo eye situation, and I like using a tapered brush because it can get really precise in the little nooks and crannies, and then just of course blending that out throughout the crease. Next up, to help further blend more, I'm just going to go back in with that Cayenne shade and just pop that in the crease and just helping to blend all the colors together. My favorite blending brush of all time, MAC 224. That's my favorite. Next up, we're going to go in with a lid color. We're going to pop Dirty Talk right on the center of the eye. Again, I'm still using a different tapered brush here, and I'm just going to pop this around the eye. I didn't experience any kind of fallout with any of these shades, so the mattes blended out fine whenever I was blending them. Sometimes with matte shades, when you blend them a lot, sometimes you can lose a lot of pigment. Didn't experience that. The shimmers go on nice and easy, no fallout there. And now I'm just taking another tapered brush, and I'm just really taking a clean one to make sure that the edges are nice and clean and blown out. Then we're going to move on to some eyeliner. I'm not a big fan of winged eyeliner, so I'm just keeping it nice and simple, basic line all the way from the inner tear duct all the way out. And I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Ink Liner for that. And since we're doing some liner, I had to set that up to put on some false lashes. Moving right along to the face here. It's hot, it's humid, I live in the South. We are going to use the Becca Ever Matte Primer, and we're doing something different here. I'm not doing foundation. We're going to do some cream highlighting and contour here. I'm dropping Smashbox Photo Primer Oil in it just simply because if you do not, these cream contour kits by Anastasia can be really hard to blend out. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, you have oily skin, you're putting that on your face. No, it's totally fine. And I went in first with a peach tone color because I'm doing color correcting. I'm putting this up under my eyes, around my mouth, any areas where it's a little bit darker or have shadows, and I'm just going in with my finger. This is something that I typically do whenever I'm working on my clients. If I can, just depending on the skin situation, I will do highlighting or concealing first in the center of the face, blend everything out, and then I'll go through the perimeter of the face, and I'll either do a bronzer, contour, or a deeper skin tone, deeper shade to kind of blend everything together. Now I'm just going in with the other shade from the contour kit, and I'm just putting this all in the center of the face. Make sure if you are doing color correcting that you cover it with some sort of liquid cream, otherwise it will not look pretty. It'll have like an orangey peachy tint to you. And also, if I have on a liquid foundation, I would not cream contour just simply because I am oily and that would be a big mess. So since I decided to skip out on liquid foundation and do it this way, I didn't have any issues with it. And the thing is, as you can tell, I can get a full-on, nice, seamless, natural coverage with this. That's another reason why I kind of liked skipping out on foundation on myself and clients, and just kind of going in with the cream highlight and then going around the perimeter of the face, because I feel like for me, it looks the most skin-like. And my tool of application, of course, is going to be a damp sponge, damp beauty blender. I just feel that it just really helps with the application process, especially when working with creams. It just blends out really easily. And then also, creams are going to give you the most natural looking contour as well. I know they can be a pain to work with, but if you're doing anything that's kind of where you're going to be doing any type of photography, taking pictures, cream is typically the way to go. And I am just using a Real Technique sponge here to blend out my contour. I've really been enjoying the Real Technique sponges. I've had them for a hot minute now. I only really pick them up when I'm doing cream contour, so since I don't really cream contour that often, they kind of get neglected. But I'm really liking the way it's turning out so far. And keep in mind that everyone's going to contour in different places. Your face structure, it's going to be different from someone else's. So therefore, how I contour my face, you might not do so. And that's another thing that really irritates me too. Contouring and highlighting is not standard. You know what I mean? So because I wanted to have my under eye area, the center of my face, just a tish bit lighter, dipping into the lightest shade of the palette here, and I'm just going to go over it. And that's the other thing about these cream contours. They are very, very buildable, and I feel like I have more control. And again, like I was saying in my older video, I feel like this isn't a product that is user friendly. It's definitely an artistry product, but you know, you can totally learn how to use it. And as you can see, I got way too much loose powder there. I'm using a Real Technique setting brush. I like using this brush to go up under my eyes, and just the tiniest bit of Sacha Butercup powder, because I can get a little cakey under my eyes if I'm not careful. Then going back in with my beauty blender and some more Sacha Butercup powder, and I am just making sure I'm pressing everything in to make sure I set my face. This is a very important tip here whenever I'm doing something more structured or snatched. I like to take my damp beauty blender, dip it into Sacha Butercup powder, and this is probably the only time that I will ever bake. I like to bake it right up under my jawline where my contour is, and that's just going to make everything look a little bit more pronounced and snatched. And then taking a powder brush, I'm just going to go ahead, set the rest of my face, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to wipe off any other product that I had from my baking. Next up, favorite bronzer of all time, of life, CoverGirl Queen Ebony Bronze. I'm just kind of going over that contour on the sides of my face and on my forehead. Y'all, this blush, I've been loving it. It's Wet n Wild blush in Mellow Wine. It's the perfect flush of color, and it's drugstore, so you already know it is affordable. It's such a pretty color. Next up, yes, highlighting. I know. I never highlight, but we're doing it today. We're doing it all today. This is actually limited edition. It was the Taraji P. Henson and Matte collection, so unfortunately, that's no longer available. Next up here, I'm going to do a little slight line in my waterline using the Marc Jacobs eyeliner. And then here, just doing the same thing, those same matte shades that I put in my crease. I'm just going to go ahead and stick that on my lash line as well, just to kind of give it more dimension. And also, I feel like this just makes the eye look come together and everything's nice and blended out properly. And my favorite part, you guys know I love an inner tear duct highlight from the Urban Decay Heat palette. I'm going to take this shimmer shade called Lumbar. Sorry I didn't show it. And it's going to go right in the center of my face. I'm sorry, in my tear duct area. And that is going to be it for this look. I have on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Gloss Tara. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this summer slay look, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.